SMT Nation, we are back. Nation, in today's video, T-Mobile being sued. Bad news, obviously, not a good thing. Telco companies occasionally do get sued. T-Mobile no different than any other telco. Let's take a look at this situation. Let's kind of check out the severity, how bad this is, and kind of what it means for the company moving forward. All right, link for the article from, who's the author here? Katie Scott, and it's tech.co. I'll leave a link for that. It'll be in the description. Ways to support us can be found there as well. Please do like and share our videos, subscribe if you're new here, and turn on the bell notification icon to never miss an upload from the SMT. All right, T-Mobile sued for data breach by the state of Washington. According to the disclosures in this article, Washington State Attorney General Bob Ferguson is filing lawsuit against T-Mobile, and he says there are several security failures by the company leading to a massive data breach. You guys probably remember this breach, one of several that has occurred at T-Mobile. Ferguson argues that the company misrepresented how the company prioritizes the personal data that it does collect, and T-Mobile also failed to properly notify impacted Washingtonians who were impacted by the breach, downplaying the severity, inability to send notices in a timely fashion, not disclosing all the information on the data breach. Okay, so if you guys remember, some of these breaches were pretty big and they impacted millions and millions of people. In fact, I think at some point, every T-Mobile's customers, information and identifiers have probably made their way out to the dark web. Okay, so 2 million Washingtonians have been impacted by these breaches. Over 180,000 had their social security numbers compromised, amongst other types of personal identifiers. And what the companies have to do when they get breached, they have to reach out to specific individuals, departments, and offices in regards to these breaches. And I think that's where a lot of this is coming from. It was, and when we covered this before, that was the thing. T-Mobile did not do their due diligence at the time of the incidents, and that's what's gotten them into hot water. So regardless of people's opinions and regardless of what you think about these companies, and I know there's T-Mobile thongs out there who think that T-Mobile can do no wrong, and strangely enough, people find ways to personally identify themselves with these companies, which is, I think, strange and unusual. But folks, they're not doing what's good for you. So this is one of those instances where the state attorney general is coming down on T-Mobile, rightfully so. T-Mobile didn't follow the laws, the guidelines, and the recommended course of action. They were negligent. They showed incompetence in responding to the data breaches. Whether they chose to actively not do the right thing or just didn't respond accordingly because they didn't have the processes in place to do it, whatever the case may be, they are responsible for these outcomes. So me personally, as a consumer, as a person who represents the consumer, I'm glad T-Mobile is being held with their feet to the fire. They deserve to be pushed to pressure and have to respond, and hopefully they learn from this, right? So I'm good with, the state attorney general from Washington putting it on T-Mobile. They deserve the smoke. Every company that gets hacked and doesn't respond accordingly deserves the smoke. So you can love T-Mobile. That's good for you. I'm very happy for you. I hope you can one day marry T-Mobile. But seriously, these companies are not helping you, they're hurting you, and they need to be held accountable for whether it's their specific actions or lack of action. So I'm good with this. I'm glad T-Mobile is being held culpable for these things. And, I've done the same thing for AT&T. I've done the same thing for Boost. I've done the same thing for Verizon. These companies all operate the same way, and that is company benefit, not consumer benefit. So hopefully things improve and T-Mobile kind of learns from this. And, it's one of those things where, they can, obviously, if they're financially held responsible, you're more likely to get good outcomes. We'll see what happens. But that's my take, and that's the news. Let me know what you guys think about this. How heavy should the attorney general come down on him? I wish other states would get involved too. That would be the best outcome. Have all the state attorney general, kind of come together and really make a difference. And I think from a policy standpoint, things got to change. There's got to be more teeth for these outcomes and punishments, in my opinion. But what do you guys think? Sound off in the comment section below. You're the voice of the people. The SMT Nation, let your voice be heard.